Thanks for coming. That was nice.
Oh, no problem.
I was there to hear you talk and everything.
You were there?
Yeah, me and my wife were there. We were like about third row. Brian was the only one wasn't there because he was speaking in areas.
Oh, right.
So this is actually another tour of a fish room that I did while I was in Ohio doing a talk, and I was visiting fish rooms and stores and whatnot. I think you guys are really going to like this. How this gentleman breeds his fish in such a small area, yet it's so organized and clean. I think. Just check it out.
I have a fish room over here.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yes, I do. Now you take a look at. We'll start with the stands.
So it seems to me as though that's where you kind of enjoy, and then this is where things get serious.
Both. I don't know. I enjoy them all. But I built these stands out of wood. They're really heavily enforced, and I screwed them and glued them, and they can hold the weight. They don't bend or anything like that.
Oh, you did them with bolts?
Yeah. I
Nice.
use bolts on the ends too, so you could probably put a car on some of these.
Yeah.
And it would really hold up.
I was looking, you use these PVC and slate
Yeah, so
quite
now
a
why
bit.
I do that is for mouth breeders. A lot of them, the male will display above the slate, and then what he'll do is, the female will lay the eggs, and he'll, fertilize them, and it just seems like that's like a little area that they like, instead of doing it at the bottom of the tank, they seem to pick those areas out, and they display, and that's
You guys want to come in?
what they do. If I could just turn around and just show you one thing. All these rooms are being run by all these tanks, have air from this one linear pump.
Yeah.
And then we have PVC all around the room for all these tanks, and there might be, 22 tanks or something in here. And we just tap into it, and it's all off the one. The only maintenance I do on that is just clean the filter, every so often, and that's really it. And I mean, they're quiet running pumps, the linear pumps, and they do provide enough. And that's not even the biggest linear pumps.
No, yeah.
So what I have here is probably I have 11 20-gallon longs that are set up. I also have, 210 40 breeders, and I have two 75s that are over here in this fish room too. All getting oxygen, or all getting air, from the same pump. Let's see. Okay, and when I clean these, I mostly clean these by gravity because I probably have 4 different 50-foot hoses, and by gravity, and then I just refill them. I do about 80% water changes every 2 weeks, and starting tomorrow I'd be doing them again. And some of the names on the tanks, for example, over here, there's a breeding pair of green tares that are in there. That's the male right in there.
I wasn't expecting Central American. I was thinking all.
Yeah, no, there's a little mixture. Now I'm trying to branch out a little just from Africans. And believe it, down here are what they call the real red tares. Down here, they're still small. There's about 13 of them in there. That way I'm hoping I end up with a male and female.
Yeah.
Eventually they'll go into a 125-gallon tank. But they're very peaceful with each other right now.
When you buy cichlids and you are looking to get a pair out of them, how many babies would you typically recommend to give you the best odds? Like 6 to 8, or?
I would definitely say 6 to 8. 8 obviously being better than 6 because it increases your odds. I buy a lot of mine either that are BAP that another club member had bred, or I will buy some locally, or I'll send away to a lot of places that are in other states, and I'll try to get at least 7 if I can. I try to get 7. But a lot of times the BAP they give you 6.
Right.
But if I order them somewhere, I try to get 7.
So the main focus of this fish room is to reproduce the fish.
Well, I enjoy the BAP a lot. I'm involved with the program.
Breeders Award points.
Yeah, Breeders Award points. And I do like it, but I like the fish too.
Yeah.
Most of them are single species tanks. These are what they call the Morii, but these are the albino Morii. And the other tank over here, I have the blue ones, and they reproduce nothing but albinos. In fact, all these were little fry that came from their parents, and I've grown them up. And
Those dolphins, blue dolphins.
yeah, there are blue dolphins in here mixed in with some Placidochromis malomo VC10s.
Wow, these are pretty, aren't they?
And then I really like these blue zebra angels. I have 2 of them down there, and then I have some more in a lower tank. This is actually a pair. They've laid eggs, but I haven't had good success with hatching them yet.
They won't hatch, eh?
Well, they've hatched, but I haven't been able to raise the young, to be honest. So I'm going to try with brine shrimp, live brine shrimp, which I'm setting up to do that now, too. So I try to provide some cover for them, all these fish.
Does anybody still do the boiled egg and you use the center of it, the yolk?
I don't.
Grind that up?
I don't. I've never done that, so I don't know.
To feed the fry. That
Mostly
work.
what I do is I use a lot of flake food, good quality flake food, and I'll use pellets on some of the bigger fish. I'll use some frozen brine shrimp, and that's usually what I'll use. I'll do some bloodworms once in a while. We also do have microworms for some of the fish too, but I need to get more into doing the brine shrimp.
The eggs now? No, I thought I
Now, these are L397 red tiger plecos. Those are quite expensive, and all the ones in here are babies. They were babies. We raised them all, from the parents. There's probably about maybe at least 25 or more in here. It's kind of hard to part with them. I know people want them, and I know I can get good money for them, but. This room is heated, by the way.
Yeah.
But each tank has their individual heater in there too.
Okay.
So most of them either have a sponge filter or they have a canister filter.
Box.
Yeah, canister box.
You got a lot of babies in all of them.
Yeah, so that's something too. I'm glad you mentioned that. I don't think they make these nets anymore, but they were great when they made them.
Yeah.
There's different size nets, so you could move babies from one side
I
to
know what
the
that
other.
is. That's these days. Well, did you make this one?
No, I bought all these. I've had these for
That's
years.
for crocheting and netting.
I
suppose you could just.
the material is down here.
Yeah.
But we tried to make some that were really like this, but they're a little bit
flimsy.
more flimsier. This is just
Stiffer.
yeah, they
More
were
rigid.
stiffer. But I bought these like these, and I wish they would still make them because everybody comes over says, "Do you have any extras to sell?" And I don't think they make them, but it's really good to keep the babies in for me, And then when I clean it, I'll just move them into another tank while I'm cleaning, and I just move it back in. So, and then the really small babies that would go through there, we use these plastic type of things. We just lock it in with these clips, and then we have air stone, and that's for the really smaller babies usually.
Yeah.
And then they'll move into this size net and then a larger size net.
Oh, okay.
Like down here, if I may just say, these are just a gazillion of
Yeah, that's a
green
lot.
tear babies.
Oh, you did breed the green terrors.
Yes, we had 2 that where we captured them, and there's a few we just kind of let them go. And these Buccochromis natiana babies that are still in here, I BAP'd some of them.
are
Other
nice.
fish would be Alanicara dragon blood peacocks, and these are Haplochromis tomatoes, and Hemichromis XL, EXSUL in there. They haven't got reddish yet.
Now, a lot of these Africans have the same breeding rituals and even,
That's
you know,
true.
mouth brooding and whatnot.
Right.
What would you say, out of like a lot of, over history, what is some of your favorite fish to breed because of the way they do it, or what's like the most rewarding, enjoyable to watch?
I enjoy all of it. To be honest with you, was really excited when the L397 red tiger plecos bred because
Right.
they were just so little when they first came out, and we put them in their own area. So I really enjoyed that part of it. I like the fish because I like some of them that are rarer fish. For example, this one here is Enterochromis redback scraper, and quite a few males in there. That's the most dominant male, but that's no longer even out there in the lake. So
Oh.
you have to get it from somebody that has them. And I mean, it's kind of keeps them alive, you know, even though they're not in the lake. You can't find them in there anymore.
Are they classified as endangered?
Yes, they are.
Oh wow. Are they listed as extinct in the wild?
I've been told they're extinct in the wild.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so you need to keep those and you need to breed them.
Sure.
Otherwise, we won't have them.
Over here, these are Neolamprologus gracilis, mountain-mouth brooders. They breed in the cave. And in fact, my wife Diane today was
Oh,
in here.
fairy cichlids, right?
Yes, and she found some babies and has them in one of these containers over here. You probably can't see them because they are so astronomically small.
Yeah.
But she puts them in
Little
there,
dots.
puts them in there with an air stone, and she helps me out a lot. I give my wife Diane a lot of credit. What happens is, as they start to get bigger, I'll move them into an aquarium. These fish here, and some of them I'll BAP. I have a lot of them now. There's been a lot of them that have been breeding lately, and I move them into their tank once I get room to put them in there.
What's this
Now
pleco
this here, these are L264 Sultan plecos.
Yeah, they're nice.
I love those fish, but I have never been able to breed them yet. I've never seen them lay any eggs, never seen any babies. I probably need to maybe move. There's a couple plecos that are swimming around in there too, but they maintain their spots, and I've had them for a couple years. And what's kind of rewarding too, I'm going to go back to the gracilis. I had those for probably 2 years and never had any babies, and then all of a sudden they have had a couple of groups now. So I don't know if they bred them before and I didn't see them, or sometimes it just takes patience.
Yeah.
You know, changing the food a little bit, or changing the area around a little bit. And but like I say, most of the ones I've done a lot of other Julies too. So some are cave spawners, but most of the fish I have are mouth breeders. So. And the heaters I like are the Jaeger heaters.
Oh, yeah, Eheim.
I found those to be the best for me. They don't seem to overheat. I mean, they seem to last a long time.
They seem that those Eheim heaters do seem
Yeah,
to be
right.
the most, at least as far as I can remember, the most trusted for the longest time.
That's what I've experienced
Yeah.
too. So I can't remember the last time I had a tank that overheated.
Well, they're just time tested as well. They've been around forever.
Sure.
And everybody has a new heater coming out, and everybody loves it. And it's the
Right.
best, but they're not time tested in the
Right.
hobby. But these Eheims are,
Right.
and they haven't changed their design.
No.
I've never seen one look any different
No.
than it looked like 10, 20 years ago. Yeah, those green terrors, they're actually a beautiful, beautiful fish.
Now
Especially-
they call them the green tear, obviously, and most people when they hear that they get a little bit, oh no, they're gonna kill everything else. I keep them by themselves, and he doesn't beat up the female. That happens with some of the tanks. There are some little babies in there.
Yeah, little stragglers.
Yeah. But some of the fish, the male wants to breed some of the peacocks or some of the other fish, and they'll become so aggressive, you know, trying to get the female to breed that they may actually harm her or perhaps even kill her. But they get along like a happily married couple in there. So
A lot of fish with those types of names tend not to live up to it, like even the Jack Dempsey.
right, I've had those before.
Yeah, I
too,
mean,
right.
they can be a little aggressive, I guess, but I think that when these fish were being named, there wasn't not much to compare them to.
Sure.
And now we got some really nasty cichlids out here. But yeah. So what's the future of your fish room looking like? Are you going to continue just doing this?
To be honest with you, I used to run tanks down the middle, but you know, I thought the room was too crowded. You have to get down and see it. So I put in these chairs. So sometimes people will come over, they'll just sit down in the chair like this,
Yep.
and then they want to turn it around.
Yeah.
Now I have this step stool type of thing because my wife is not very tall.
Well, it'd be great for me too.
And so she'll move it around the room. If she wants to do something, she'll move it around the room.
Oh, she helps you out here, yeah.
Oh, she's like a partner.
Perfect.
She's fantastic. I think it's great when you're in the hobby if you have a wife that is a
Boy.
partner that is interested in the hobby as well, and you can share it together, and we do share this together. She comes to the meetings, the auctions, and she's also involved with the fish. You know, she'll feed them and she takes care of them. She really likes the pleco type of fish a lot, and she likes the angels a lot, and it's good to have somebody involved like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my friend, thanks for having me over
sure.
and allowing me to bring my friends with me to kind of learn from you and, you know, see what you got on the go. And I think that you might pique some people's interest in taking breeding a little more seriously.
It's a
and
tremendous hobby.
how to do it. And
Sure.
yeah, if you had to give them leave them with one last thing you want to say, or maybe you want to promote your club, or, you know, maybe a piece of advice or something, I'll let you end this.
Well, I'd say it's a fun hobby. It doesn't have to cost a lot, doesn't have to take a lot of time, and it's fun to watch them to do this, and it's something you can do all year round, you know, the summer, winter, whatever. There's clubs that are out there, and you can join the clubs, and there's a lot of help if you go online, you know. The DIY and other things to how to raise the fish, how to feed the fish, how to build things and stuff like that. So there's a lot of help for those that are out there, and a lot of club members will help you to enhance your knowledge of the hobby. So
What is your local club that you're a member of?
I'm a member of the Ohio Cichlid Association, the Medina County Aquarium Society, the Akron Aquarium Society, and the Northeast Ohio Aquarium Society. So I'm a member of 4 clubs, and I'll actually go to some other clubs' auctions. I'll go to the Erie auction, and I'll go to the Youngstown auction as well. So.
Yeah, and maybe I'm filming this backwards, but maybe I'll get you to introduce yourself.
Oh, that's okay.
Because I kind of just turned the camera on the way down the
Hey,
stairs.
Diane, come here for a second. Yeah, my name is John Tessar, and this is those are my 2 dogs, Kelly and Abby. And know that they really don't take down deer by themselves. And this is my wife Diane, and she helps me on everything, and it's enjoyable to have a partner that is right there with you. So.
Good for you guys. Thanks guys. Thanks for having us.
All right.
If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you check out a lot of these clubs he's talking about and really consider joining, and not only joining but supporting them. There's a lot of cool things that go on with them that many people don't know, and I was getting the fear that aquarium clubs are becoming almost a dying breed these days, and I just want to bring them back into the forefront and show you just how cool these really are. So if you do have a local club in your area, especially if you're in Ohio, we've got 4 that he just mentioned. Make sure you join and support them. They certainly could use it. Anyways, if you did like the video, make sure you subscribe, click the like button. I will see you guys in the next video.